But what I didn't think of, what I forgot, is that Harry Maguire cost you £80 million, and that for £80 million, he cannot even defend for the sake of him. Because that first goal, that Ndombele goal, has to be the worst piece of defending that you've ever seen in your life, ever.
Worse than Eric Bailly falling asleep?
No, but come on. At some point, Harry Maguire even pulls off his own teammate in Luke Shaw, who's about to kick the ball really far into the M62 or whatever, the motorway by Old Trafford, and instead, he makes Luke Shaw falls over, which means that Ndombele can score. I thought last season, Maguire, especially after the restart, looked really shaky and wrong. And that game against Southampton at Old Trafford, where he man-marked his own player on the corner, that led to the Southampton second goal. I was like, what's going on? But this is another level. This is like Sunday morning level.
I don't want to just make this about United and their deficiencies, although I think we have to point out that Luke Shaw foul at the end. I don't care if the rules say, well, it should have been yellow, whatever. That is the kind of foul which I think they should look at with video evidence and fine him or something, or at least make more of a spectacle out of it. That is the kind of foul that players used to do when their team was losing and the fans were on their back, to show that, oh, look, I'm still trying. I have heart. I got myself sent off. That isn't the kind of crap that we saw back in the 70s and 80s. Luke Shaw, by all accounts, is a very nice guy. I'm sure he feels terrible. I'm not going to harp on about this.
But did you see the reaction from Solskjaer? There's an angle on television where you see Solskjaer and Mourinho behind. So it's where basically you're facing the United player, the Spurs player, and so even Solskjaer goes, like, why did he do this? Why?
Obvious.
It's his own player. And he goes like, oh my God, why are you doing this?
In terms of media reaction, it seems to me that people are pointing fingers at Solskjaer, majority of people pointing fingers at Woodward. We're kind of going after old ground. As I mentioned earlier, the transfer window's still open. Cavani and Tejas could be on his way. No point speculating now. Let's speculate later about whether they can improve things. But I'm interested in this notion going into the season that you have Maguire and you have Lindelof as your starting central defenders, and everybody else has hardly played, right? I think he started one game last season. Twanzebe, Phil Jones. And then they decide that Smalling, who was really good last year, albeit at Roma, he's gone. There's got to come a point where you go to where Solskjaer voiced his issues about depth and alternatives. I'm stuck in two minds about this. You're the manager, so at some point you don't go and voice your concerns now in public with days left. You need to have the intestinal fortitude to say, you know what? Nobody likes Ed Woodward. Ed Woodward gets blamed for everything. Yep. If I go out in the summer, and I don't like it when managers do this, when there is a serious club there with a proven track record, but I think sometimes it is fair to throw your toys out of the pram, Conte style, or Mourinho style, or Van Gaal style, and say, guys, you're asking me to go into the season where all my backups are guys who basically haven't played football in the last 12 months or have played it very, very badly. I mean, could that have changed things? Is this something Solskjaer should have done? Because in the summer, Solskjaer still had credit.
Maybe he did. We don't know. Maybe he didn't.
No. In public.
Yeah.
In public. That's what I'm talking about. Calling it out. In private, I don't know. Maybe he did, and he had lots of talks with Woodward. He
should have had. But maybe you know what? Maybe he was happy. Maybe he was convinced that maybe he thought, you know what? Last season we finished third best defense in the league, which is true. They finished third best defense in the Premier League last season. And maybe he saw that and thought, okay, well, we must have a good defense then. Third best defense in the league, that's good. And maybe he never thought, okay, let's try to find a way of improving these defensive records, having a better back four or back five or whatever he wants. And maybe he never saw it like this. But I find it baffling that at no point this summer they thought, do you know what? Really, centre back should be the one where we put all our energy, all our money, everything you want to, all our efforts to go and sign a really, really good centre-back who will be better than what we have, even better than Maguire if you want, better than anyone else. Maybe by two even, and by another left-back, by the way, too. I just find that incredible. As Solskjaer as a manager, whether he did it publicly or not, and yeah, he defended Woodward far too much, in my opinion, all summer. But that's what he chose, and maybe that's that kind of guy he is. But I don't know. But how come you never thought this is not good enough defensively?
So Phil Jones will leave to one side, but Eric Bailly was a very highly rated defender when he joined Manchester United. I don't know if he was worth 40 million or whatever. He suffered some very bad injuries since then. Is this the reason why he's not being the player, or he isn't turning into the player that he was supposed to become? Or is he just not being well coached? Because I don't remember him ever, other than a couple games. I don't remember even before he got injured.
Yeah.
Under Mourinho, I don't remember him playing well.
I don't know what happened with Mourinho. Maybe he just took a long time to adapt. Maybe the team, maybe there was lacking something to come here to the Premier League and adapt his game. Maybe the coaching from Mourinho, who clearly was not at his best in those United years, especially the second one. I don't know what happened, because I just think that physically he has all the attributes. Really, I think he's quite an intelligent guy. I think he can understand the game. His positioning was not that bad.
Does he still have those attributes, or is he just not the same after his injury?
Maybe he's struggling with the fitness. Yeah, maybe he is. Maybe he's struggling.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.